Hi, Frank.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Can you please introduce yourself? Tell me what is your role in Aventura?
Sure. My name is Frank Robenheimer. I'm the operations manager at Aventura Parks. Been here for, well, just about since the parks opened. So
Which is how long?
we've been here, we opened in January of 2017.
Wow.
So so I started in February of 2017, or the beginning of February. So I was here 2 weeks after the park opened. And I'm in charge of the operation, making sure that all the consumers are served and the personnel
So
are
everything
handled,
works, basically.
everything works and everything runs. Yeah,
Good.
that's my
Great
thing.
to know. Great. So, we have interviewed Lena about the park and location and what is special about the park, etc. I would like you to introduce me on this new circuits that we are launching, that we have launched actually, which called Discovery. Can you just tell me more about that?
Sure, yeah. So Discovery, after the first season that we operated, we found that we've got a bit of a lack in one of the areas, and that was for small children. So after the first year of the first season of operating, we created what we then called the mini kids for children between the ages of 4 and 6 years old to have an area to play. And we ran that for about 2 seasons, and then based on customer feedback and our own experiences, we found that there wasn't really enough for these little kids to keep them occupied, keep them busy, and keep them entertained for the time that we have them. And because everything else in the park or in Aventura Parks is linked to learning and experiential learning in some way, we decided to upgrade Discovery to something that has a learning component to it, or an added component to it that will incorporate this nature setting that we have and the learning aspect of what we do in the park.
We can say it's kind of education
Very much.
and entertainment in the middle of nature.
Very much, very
Okay.
much. Yeah.
So let's just give me just more details about Discovery, like this pyramid of how do you call it? The pyramid of development.
Yeah.
And then like about each steps, etc., and how those steps are represented in Discovery circuits.
Yeah, so what we looked at or finally decided on is to focus on early years development for children. And we came across this pyramid of learning that is basically the tiers of how the central nervous system develops, from right at the base up to where you're a fully functional entity, fully functioning adult.
So she's from 0 to which age? Like
From up to 6, 7, 8 years old.
6, 7, 8 years old. Okay, so it's like all those steps that like a toddler needs to learn in order to develop his capacity to cope with the world.
Right,
Okay.
right. So what we did is we ran with the idea a little bit and expanded the mini kids surface area probably 3 or 4 times, and divided into areas that focuses on these developmental
Sensory motor skills, etc.
Yes.
Okay.
So there we've got deep muscle proprioception area and a balancing area, so with that we call the vestibular area, something for tactile development, and then also for social development and interaction, and I'll go into that a little bit, and then along with the original circuit that we built, so that we've got a more rounded education-based play area for kids that are between the ages of right now 2 to 6, 7, 8 years old.
And tell me more about this like main attraction with the sensory skills, which like now we have introduced in Aventura, which is basically new for kids, and especially like learning the tactical through water. Just let me know about this like new attraction.
Right. So what we did is we looked at where we need to focus, and the focus was pretty much on especially all young children, but especially children with sensory processing issues or emotional regulation issues. And I've consulted with some occupational therapists and psychologists, and they all came down basically to the same thing, which is this pyramid of learning. And the senses that we had to develop was all the ones I mentioned before, the balance and the proprioception and the tactile. And one of the challenges for us was, how do I represent
The
tactile in
yeah.
an outdoor environment while
Yes.
it's safe for small children? And what we came up with was to give them a fountain. So
They're beautiful. I mean,
to give them a bit of a fountain so they can play in the water, understand the temperatures, understand the textures,
feel the water actually.
feel the water on their
water,
skin.
just- yeah, yeah.
Because the sense of touch is the very first
Extremely
sense.
important. Yeah.
Yeah, very important.
For
It's the very
child
first sense that
development.
develops in utero. It's the first thing that you can interact with the outside world is by touch, even while in the womb. So I
That's
think we
great.
came to.
I mean, I've seen some kids playing in the water and then testing their stability and balances on the new tree houses that you have there. It's really truly amazing work.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
We're very proud of it.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Frank.